एवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। According to science, life means expression between birth and death, and therefore they limit their field. There is a hum in your recording. Therefore they limit their approach only up to that point. And that is why the prenatal existence and the posthumous existence is not taken into account. And unless this is done, there is no solution to any problem of life. Because when we take, अभी भी तुम्हारा माइक ठीक नहीं हुआ, when we take the life as expression between birth and death, we are bound to end up into plurality and relativity. And when we are accepting the relative existence as the absolute one, this basic error remains. And when the basic error remains, something like treatment given by the painkillings, it doesn't solve the problem. And therefore, the real scientific approach to life is that life does not begin from absence and it is never destroyed. Like physics says, energy is neither created nor destroyed. Energy can be only transferred. It can be transformed, not transferred. It can be transformed from one type of energy into another type of energy. And what is energy and what is matter? Grossified energy is matter, and when the matter is broken, energy is released. If this is the truth, the life energy, when it grossifies, the individuality is the expression. And when the individuality is disintegrated, the energy is released. So when we take that as the real meaning of life, then alone we are transcending beyond the limits of the relative existence. This point is taken into consideration in our spiritual thought, where the teacher brings out this very clear thing. Yesterday we have seen in the 15th verse of this 8th chapter, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramam gataha. You take any religion. In every religion they accept the existence of life after death. We being Hindu are lucky. If we discard this body, never mind. We'll be again born, we'll have a fresh body. Unlike we see in Islam and Christianity. Once you are buried, till the last day comes. And we don't know when it is going to come. Today is the reality. The last day is never the reality. Till then, you go on waiting. This is how the organic fuel is created. So, when we accept that the life continues after death, then what is that life? So there are two options. One is the life merges back in the total life, or the life continues the game of relative existence. And when the life continues the game of relative existence, then there is a continuous upheaval as well as going down. This is going to happen. Sometime born in good family, sometime in bad family. Sometime born as human beings, sometime born as animals. Sometime born as genius, sometime born as idiots. This is going on and on and on. How long? Therefore, the teacher says, Mam upetya punarjanma na apnuvanti. If you merge back to the source, there is no more birth and death. Now, the second option. But suppose somebody has not practiced that kind of yoga sadhana, and suppose he goes to heaven. See, going to hell and heaven is a lollipop for the children to study. Nothing beyond that. If you study, if you get the first rank, you will get a nice watch. If you get the 10th rank, you will get a table clock. So, for getting that gift, the student is interested and puts efforts. In the same manner, if you lead a good life, do good to others, do charity, and live a goody life, go to the temple and confess before the Lord between you and me, okay? And tell him that I have done all this misappropriation, 10% yours, 90% mine. Excuse me, God, do you have ATG certificate? Isn't it? The cartoon of spirituality. So, to such people, there is another option. What is that option? We will go to heaven if you do something good. What good we do? We give money in charity. Where from you got this money? From the same people. And then we collected the money, became rich, and then I give your own money to you and get the credit. See, to whom are we deceiving? It is the Amway of becoming rich. You know the Amway of becoming rich? You cheat your own friends. The thing which is available for 25 rupees in a market, you sell it to your dear friend, and out of regards to you, he buys it for 125. So you have already pickpocketed your friend boldly with 100 rupees. And this is how all the friends are mutually, cheating each other and growing foolish. See? Therefore, till such time, we are enchanted by going to hell and heaven. We have not yet transcended the barrier of relative existence. I remember I told you earlier, I was somewhere waiting for my visa in US. And I was just walking on the footpath. 2-3 hours, what can you do? So I was walking. And one person came and asked, Are you a Hindu? I said, yes. Do you believe in Jesus? I said, no. Why? Because I believe in Lord Jesus. He is not your pal. Jesus. Oh, whatever it is. You believe in? Yes. Then you are a Christian? No. And yes. How can you say like that? Because I said, I am a Hindu. I believe in Jesus and I am not a Christian. So yes and no. If you say like this, you will go to hell. I said, we'll meet there later. Whom are you going to threaten? But be very attentive. Religions are living into investments. One investment is the investment of fear. All those people who are living their religion under the pressure of fear, they are destroyed by the same religion, whichever religion it is. Fear cannot be the fruit of religious life. If that is coming, we are going the wrong way. Second is the guilt. If you do something wrong and then is, oh my God, Krishna, 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 Rama, 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 you have done such a terrible sin. Now go around Ganga Ji from Gomukh up to Ganga Sagar and back 3 times. And after that, if you still survive, don't come to me. See, please remember, spiritual life has these 2 important components. Freedom from fear and freedom from guilt. Those who have this, they are not walking the spiritual path. So now to such fearful people, those who want to do good karma and go to heaven, Bhagavan says, Brahma bhuvana lokaha punaravartino arjuna mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Right up to Brahmalok. From there are, this is like a 14 compartment tiffin box. So, Sutala, Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Patala. America is Patala. Up to that. Lower. And then, Bhur, Bhur, Swaha, Mahajanasta, Tapaha, Satyam. These are the upper worlds. So, right from the Patala up to the Satyalok, all of them are Punaravartinaha. How long can you go and stay in a very wonderful resort or a 5-star hotel? As long as you have money in your pocket. The hand which saluted us to receive, the same hand lands on your neck and takes us to the kitchen. Because they are short of washing people, the dishes. Come on. Till all the things are paid, you are not relieved. Therefore, punaravartinaha. The principle is what? That which is created by action is destroyed in action. See? Take for example, this is not a complete example, but to make the point. If I take a stone and throw it, how long will it go? Till it is associated with the energy that I have added to the stone. When that energy gets exhausted, it will fall down. See how simple it is. Similarly, anything which is created as a result of the action will have a limited existence. And therefore, all these worlds, 14 worlds, they are bound to end up again coming back to the relativity. Therefore, mam upetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. He who has discovered his essential absolute self, he comes to know, be very attentive, he comes to know that relativity is imagined in the absolute. Please understand, very important thing. In the absolute, there cannot be relativity. Of course, we can imagine. And if the relativity is imagined, and if we become miserable because of the imaginations, then our misery is also imaginary. And if the misery is imaginary, why become really miserable? See? Therefore, the only way is transcend the relativity and get established in the absolute. There is no other way. Nam upekritu konteya punarjanmana vidyate. Now, the various worlds are described. How these worlds are created and how these worlds are dissolved. Sahasra yuga parjantam aharyat brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasranta deho ratra vido janaha. Now here there is mathematical calculations with which I will not create additional confusion. If you want, you study Puranas, you'll get lot of things. 432,000 years makes one Chaturyugi. Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. These 4 Chaturyugis make one day. And equal 4 Chaturyugis make one night. And in this manner, 365 days become 1 year of Brahmaji. Don't ask me how many years. I give you data. And after that, 100 years life of Brahmaji is over, then the whole creation comes to dissolution. And after that, again the same world comes out, because what has gone in alone can come out. Isn't it? Suppose you have eaten rasgulla and vomited, jalebi will not come out. So the whole world which was absorbed again comes out. And in this manner it goes on and on and on and on. See. That is why, when according to modern science, when they determine the age of Earth, I remember one person was asking me, according to your Vedanta, when is the creation beginning and when it will be destroyed? I said, your question is wrong, therefore I will not answer. He said, no, in science we have got a Big Bang theory. I said, what is the meaning of Big Bang theory? Big Bang theory means when you don't know anything, that is called a Big Bang theory. Or a black hole theory. When there is a hole, there is a black hole theory. These are only theories, not a right thing, imagination. And when we say, when the world was created, we mean there was a time when the world did not exist. And when we say when the world will be destroyed, there will be a time when the world will be not existing. So, it is possible only when the time is considered as a straight line. Only on a straight line, there is a beginning and end. Time is circular. It is a circle, Kala Chakra. See? It's very simple. One day, when I was going to Delhi by train, long time back, 20 or so years, those days, there used to be, now also it must be there, so many walls you will see, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. Then, Satya Yuga Aayega, Satya Yuga Aayega. So one person asked me, Babaji, what do you think about this thing? Satya Yuga Aayega kya? Will it come? I said, about that, you will decide. I will ask you a few questions. Yes. What is today? He said, today is Sunday. I said, I declare, Monday aayega. Monday will come. Is it right or wrong? After Sunday, Monday alone can come. Yes. I said, which is this month? Shravan. Or let's say English month, January. Now I proclaim, February will come. What is great in that? Which is this Yuga? Kali Yuga. There are only 4 Yugas. Satya, then Treta, Dwapar and Kali. Now what is the next in line? Satya Yuga aayega. Mahatma Ji ki jai ho. See? To fool, you don't require wisdom. To fool, you require fools. That is why it is such a ridiculous thing. All the time living under fear. I will go to hell, I will go to heaven. Hell with the hell and heaven. Come back to your own self. Mamupetyetu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. The teacher declares boldly, and it is the freedom for every one of us to attain that. Never lead a life of second-class citizen in this world. So, in this manner, such a huge calculation is given. The earth is created 230 billion light years. Till date, I was never understanding what is the meaning of million. So I asked somebody, I said, hey, what is the meaning of million? Because they talk only in millions. So he said, million means what? 10 lakhs is called as 1 million. I said, oh, very good. I said, now tell me, what is the meaning of billion? And then trillion. And 283 trillion, not ordinary years, light years. Mind will not be able to comprehend that amount of time. And then what we do? Oh, science is great. What great? It has confused me. Therefore, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahrijat Brahmano Viduhu Ratri Yuga Sahasranta Teho Ratra Vidojana. So those who are the calculators of time, timekeepers, let us keep it. The timekeepers have declared, this is how each Brahmaji is. And how many Brahmajis are there? Millions and trillions of Brahmajis. For every Brahmanda, there is one creator. How many fathers are there? As many children, minimum that many fathers. Even if one has produced 1 is to 25, doesn't matter. But some will take care. They will not produce anything. So, then avyakta vyaktaya sarvaha prabhavantyaragame ratriagame praliyante tatraiva vyakta sangyake. Now here, one deep thought is there. Be very attentive. So, with the rise of the day of the Brahmaji, how many years you have calculated? Keep in your mind, secret. So, 432,000 multiplied by 72 is equal to 1 minute, and 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour, and 12 hours is equal to 1 day, and 1 night, equal amount. And in this manner, when the night is over, Brahmaji's night, because he has to sleep 4 times, 1 sleep for each head. And then when he wakes up, then all the world that was contained in him starts manifesting. Is it not our own story? When I sleep as a doctor and I get up in the morning and I ask my wife, where is my screwdriver? Where is my hammer? She will say, what happened to you? No, I am an engineer. I have to go to work. Last night you slept as a doctor, and how you have become engineer? It cannot. In the same manner, whatever was contained in the womb of this Brahmaji during the night, the same thing was existing as unmanifest. And when the day breaks, again the same thing is manifested. Now, where this has become unmanifest, that unmanifest which is carrying in its womb the total world of names and forms is the secondary unmanifest. Now try to understand this through my most favorite example. One is the ocean, second is the wave, third is the water. Now, ocean is the avyakta or the relative unmanifest, where all the waves go back and again come out. So when we talk about the ocean, we are talking about only 2 things, manifestation of the waves and the withdrawal of the waves. But beyond the ocean, there is still one reality, and that is the water. When we talk about water, we don't say, oh, I had taken one ocean of glass. No. In water, there is neither the ocean nor the waves. Think. So water is the absolute unmanifest, and the ocean is a relative unmanifest. So when our attention is on the waves, we give value to the ocean. But when our attention is on the water, then we come to discover ocean the cause and waves the effect is simply superimposed on the reality, the water. From the water standpoint, there is neither ocean nor the waves. Therefore, according to the science of our scriptures, cause-effect is an illusion. And what is the science? For everything, you have to fix the responsibility. Once I was in US and very heavy snow and all that. One after another cars banged each other from backside. And I was in the last car. About 18 cars in front. Thack, 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 thack. And immediately the police came. And the police came and they know this happened because of the weather and all that. He was so simple and intelligent. He told my friend who were the last. He said, I challan you only, I'll give you a ticket, not others. He said, what is my fault? He said, this is nobody's fault, I know that, but I have to fix responsibility. See? When this has happened, what is the cause? Cause is somebody banged from backside. So the first got the bang from the second one. Second got the bang from the third. And in this manner, you came and banged. Therefore, everything happened. Is there somebody behind you? If there is somebody else, go back. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. Therefore, the only way to get out of this mess of our life is transcend the cause and effect. And when we transcend the cause and effect, we are relieved of the relative existence. And when we are relieved of the relative existence, we come to discover the absolute bliss. Thereafter, this question will not come. Hey, Gupta ji, how come you are so happy? Look here. For happiness, you require a cause. And if Gupta ji miserable, no, it is by default. Don't worry. No. So can't there be life where there is happiness without reason? And once we transcend this cause and effect, we have transcended the relative existence. And transcending the relative existence is merging in the absolute reality. And remaining in the relativity is giving value to the cause and effect. This is what the teacher is telling. Do not get enchanted by the cause and effects. Don't go into investigation of this and that. But why did she do like that? Drop it. She is like that. You cannot change anybody in this world. When we cannot change ourselves, can we change others? We cannot. And the moment this becomes the mainstay of our thinking, we are slowly getting out from the relative world. And then the teacher says, Bhutagramasya evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratriagame avashaha partha prabhavatyharagame. In this manner, Bhutagrama. Bhutagrama is the village of the ghosts. So all the ghosts appear. Have you gone to Smashan sometime? It's a great fun. Go to not the burial ground, where the bodies are burned, there you get the warmth of death there. Where there is burying, there is only the coldness, there is no life. And there are these tantrikas, they go and do a lot of puja and the whole ghosts come to life. And they call it the enlivening of the burial ground. In the Aghor Pantha, this is very regularly done. So, again when the night goes away, all the bhutas go back. In the same manner, we are all bhuta. Bhuta means the one who is born is called as a bhuta. Bhutada. There is a title of Bhutada. So the people are born when the day breaks of Brahmaji, and when Brahmaji wants to go to sleep, everything goes back. Is it not true with us also? The moment we get up in the morning, where is the newspaper? Why do you want newspaper early in the morning? Without that, I cannot go to toilet. See, how much dependence, cause and effect. Newspaper, 20 people died. Wait, stop. Yeah, you don't require actual purgative. News is in a subtle remote control. Narayan. Similarly, again the same old thing starts coming, yesterday you had prepared that kachori, I want it today. It is already over. People ate it. You didn't keep it for me. Again, I like it. See? The whole thing again and again starts coming. Prabhavati aharagame. And in this manner, we go to bed collecting all our problems, all our achievements, all our frustrations into the unmanifest, not absence. So there are two types of unmanifest. One unmanifest is carrying in its womb the seeds of the next creation. That unmanifest is a pregnant unmanifest. And the second unmanifest is the absolute unmanifest does not carry any seeds. Bhagavan is telling us, go back to the absolute and don't be satisfied with merely the relative attainment. So, bhutagramassa evayam bhutva praliyate. Again and again we are born, again we die. If you just coolly think, coolly and thinking, impossible. Anyway, if you coolly think, you'll come to know. Just sincerely analyze your life. How many times we have gone to sleep and how many times we have woken up? What great thing has happened in our life? Nothing. Why nothing? I have started increasing in my dimension, multi-dimensional personality. What more than that? And when we are not in this world, there is not going to be any change. There is not going to be any impact. So our arrival and departure from this world is having zero consequences. Yet we imagine, I have done this thing, I have to do this thing, I am going to do this thing, I am going to help people, I am going to set everybody, nobody should be corrupted. The other day, somebody was talking to me about corruption. Swamiji, what is your opinion about corruption? I said, to be very frank, I am the highest corrupted man. He said, Swamiji, don't say like that. I said, I am telling you the truth. He said, how come you are corrupted? I said, not only me, you are also corrupted. He got frightened. I am not. I have never taken any bribe. I said, you don't have to take bribe to be corrupted. Where are you working? He said, I am working in a bank or in any office. Very good. How many hours you have to work? 8 hours. Now, during that 8 hours time, do you really work all the 8 hours for the bank? To whom you have sold your 8 hours? No. So, are you not corrupted with reference to your participation in the job of that work? Corruption doesn't mean only taking money. Corruption also means taking money and not working. See? Therefore, this world is going to be like this. There is nothing worth wasting our time. Therefore, instead of getting satisfied by the relative attainment, let us come back to the absolute reality, and that is the way. And what is that? Now the teacher explains just what I told you. Paras tasmatu bhavaha anyaha avyaktaha avyaktat sanatanaha. So, beyond the waves is the ocean. When we come to the position of the ocean, the mutual fights between the waves disappear. Isn't it? When the children are fighting, 3-4 children, when they are fighting, what is the understanding of the ocean, the father? No, children fight. Swamiji, you don't take seriously. It's okay. 5 children, we elderly also fight. We also don't take seriously. Okay, that's okay. But ask the children among themselves. It becomes such a prestige issue, small things. When you come, be very attentive. When you come to the causative position, effects are without any consequences. From the point of view of the ocean, birth and death of the waves have no meaning. From the point of view of the waves, birth and death is a great celebration and tragedy. Now, this is called as the relative absolute, not the absolute absolute. Now, from there, paratasmattu bhavaha anyaha. Beyond this relative absolute is the absolute absolute. Take the position of the water. Now, what is water? Water is that which is not afraid to be drowned in the ocean, and water is that which is not afraid of annihilation. Waves are afraid of annihilation. See? Once we come to that absolute reality, then alone we have fulfilled the journey that we are constantly struggling to reach. So, parastasmatu bhavaha anyaha avyaktaha. So, beyond the relatives, there is a relative absolute. Beyond the cause is the effect. Beyond the effect is the cause, not the other way. Beyond the effect is the cause, and beyond cause effect is the absolute. See? One husband was complaining about his wife. Every husband complains, but this was a special case, special complaint. When his wife was not listening anything, he said, Swami, you teach her, you tell her, I am elder than her. At least she should respect my age, if nothing else. I said, here I will not agree with you, sir. I will not talk any nonsense. You also join with her? I said, no, I don't join with anybody. Then how come? I said, tell me, did you get married earlier and your wife got married later? Both of you got married to each other the same moment, is it not? So as a husband and as a wife, your age is equal. Is it not? And most important, elderly as a man, you are never miserable. And young as a husband, you are nothing but miserable. So go beyond the husband and live like a man in spite of the wife. First step. Then go beyond being a man and discover the divinity and embrace the whole world in your own heart as your own Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. These are the 3 stages. So, parastasmatu bhavaha anyaha avyaktaha avyaktat sanatanaha. And what is that water? Yaha sarveshu bhuteshu nachatsu. This is called as Sati Saptami in Sanskrit grammar. And in this you have to add some more also. This is how the thoughts are explained. When sarveshu bhuteshu nachatsu means when all the things are destroyed as well as when all the things are created. In the destruction, this reality does not suffer annihilation, and in creation, this reality is not created. See? That means it is beyond the creation and destruction. Now find out who is this reality. Is it not our own biography that is being spoken of? How many things are born in our presence? How many things are destroyed? But we continue to be the same ignorant. Isn't it? How many Mahatmas have come? How many Mahatmas have gone? But we are asangoham, asangoham, asangoham punah punaha. Nobody can touch me. Because both wisdom and ignorance, they are untouchables. Ignorance is untouchable because ignorance is absence. Absence cannot be caught. Wisdom is untouchable because wisdom cannot be influenced. So, when anything is created, nothing is added to the reality. When anything is destroyed, nothing is subtracted from the reality. Is it not the mathematical law of infinite plus minus any quantity is the same? How simple it is. And this only not objective understanding. Is it not our own experience? As a waker during the waking state, we are rich or poor, enjoy or suffer. We close the waking chapter. Then the second chapter begins the dream chapter. In the dream chapter, again we play the same kind of stupid game, but with little more freedom. What will be the dream of a subordinate? His dream will be, I am a boss and my boss has become my servant. And then I will order him. Get me a glass of water. Sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And he's enjoying that because that is a dream. He wanted to enjoy. In the waking world, not possible. Isn't it? So in the dream, he goes on dreaming that. And then when he drinks water, then I shout at him. Who told you to bring water? Sir, you again started talking, shut up. And then I discover satisfaction. If not in reality, bring me to data. And then we are tired of even the dream joys. And then we go back to the sleep. How many times we have done this? But we remain the same immutable. If we really go sincerely into the depth of our own experience, no other spirituality is required outside. It is so straight. There is no complication at all. You know, when we dream a dream, suppose in that dream one tiger was attacking us and or I have become a goat and the tiger was moving and he looked at me and he came and bounced on me and then I get up and start frustrated. I don't know why did I become a goat in the dream. It's okay outside. But in the dream also, one mad person went to a psychiatrist and he said, sir, I always feel I am a goat. I am a goat. Since when? Since I was a kid. You know, baby goat is called as a kid. So he starts thinking, then wakes up. Now, you forget the dream, but we don't forget. My worry is not that. My worry is whether the goat that I was in the dream, and now I am dreaming that I am a wise man, or the wise man that I am, and I dreamt as a goat. Whether goat I is the real I, the wise man I is the real I. Think. Therefore, friends, again and again, go deeper and deeper in your own experiences. Then you will come to know, Vinashatsu sarveshu bhuteshu na vinashati. We have never experienced our destruction, our death, or our own absence. You don't have to believe. In Krishna we have to believe. In Rama we have to believe. In Guru we have to believe. But in your own direct, immediate experience, you don't have to believe. Belief is required in the field of ignorance. Belief is not required when you know. See? And there is no need for me to get a certificate from anybody. that I am alive unless I had to take the pension. So, परस्तास्मात्तु भावोऽन्यो व्यक्तो व्यक्ता सनातनः यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु विनश्यसु न विनश्यति. And therefore, avyaktoksara ityuktam tamahu paramam gatim. So this absolute is called as the paramam gatim, is the last abode. All of us are seeking only that, only that, only that. See, our Bhagavad Mahapuran tells many beautiful techniques of meditation. He says, suppose you see suddenly some light falling in your dark room from a corner. Then you suspect, hey, there seems to be sunrise, because where from the light is coming? So little bit of illumination in the dark room becomes the point of attention which will help us to trace the sun. In the same manner, this world of relativity, all the experiences of relative existence, they become the pointers to take us to the absolute. See? But what happens? We get so enchanted by those rays coming inside our hut through the small little holes, and we start playing, and the children start enjoying. See how nice the dance is going on, and we miss the sun. In the same manner, behind every experience, the truth is existing. And every experience is the manifestation of the same reality. Pratibodha viditam matam, Kenopanishad says. There is no special requirement of doing any kind of meditation. If we become extremely aware that every experience is a pointer, a pathway directly to the same reality. Whether it is a holy thought or whether it is ugly thought, all of them are illumined in the light of the same reality. It is not the holy thought is illumined with 2000 watt and ugly thought is 0 bulb. No. The same light. Therefore, avyakto aksharaha iti yuktam tamahu paramam gati. This absolute is the last thing. And yam prapya nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. Having reached where there is no more coming back to the relative existence. Now see, you all are experts in computers. There are two realities. One is the actual reality and second is the virtual reality. The computer is nothing but the virtual reality. So, whatever things are created, they appear but they are not. With a click we can create, with a click we can make them disappear. In the same manner, the ego is a virtual reality. Suddenly we feel, I am so lucky, Swamiji, I have got 3 sons and all of them are doing so well, and I don't think there is anything like heaven other than this life. One husband-wife with whom I was staying, they said this statement, Swamiji, if there is heaven, I think we are in heaven. I said, yes, I am with you, naturally you will be in heaven. No, not like that. I said, like what? Now it is like, see, we have got only one son. He is so simple, so dedicated, so sincere, and so single-pointed. Doesn't look here and there. He did his graduation and CA from over here. Then for higher studies we sent him to London, and every place we go, we are searching a good girl for him. And we are nearly finalized 3-4 of them. I said, but you are allowed to get married only one. No. Out of that he will select. Okay. And you know what happened? Suddenly next day, they started crying. Crying is what? Silent cry. not coming for breakfast. The servant comes. Swami, you take breakfast. Vividi says she will go later. Then all right. I am interested in my Madhya Pradesh. I finish and wait for my talks and all that. Lunch also, both of them not coming. I said, very good. At least there is peace. And evening then they came out. Crying. I said, Amma, everything all right? Health is fine? Swamiji, I was telling you yesterday only, if there is heaven is our family. Do you know what happened? I said, I don't know. He phoned. Who phoned? Our son, Ashok. His name was Ashok. He phoned. What happened? He said, Swamiji, again the tissue paper was lifted. Swamiji, he phoned. We are coming. He went singular and wants to come dual, plural. Now what will happen to this whole property? And he is going to settle in the wretched UK. And everything we have done everything for him. Now tell me, Swamiji, what will we do? What will happen to all this? I said, Amma, 100 times I am calling you Amma, Amma, Amma. I am ready to relieve you. Hand it over to me. See? Therefore, this small, one moment we are on the top of the world, next moment we are buried. That is not Paramam Gatim. The Paramam Gatim is, we are not happy in this world because of anything. We are happy in spite of everything. That is called as the real realization. And this is only once you recognize, there is no fall thereafter. See? If we are satisfied only by the yogic practices, do a lot of exercises, We had a friend when I was studying. He used to always tease me, you do some exercise, You don't do asana, you don't do pranayam, he used to eat in the morning, breakfast, some 10 meters of, that bandage cloth. And I used to eat nice dosha. I said, why do you eat this cloth? Are you a cow? She will never understand. And he will do lot of exercise, this, that. Within a very short period of about 10, 12 years, he developed all kinds of physical problems. And the only thing that he has in the mind is only pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. See, that is not ultimate of our life. Body is meant to be destroyed. It has to be utilized for something higher. For that purpose, keep it fit. That's it. Let us not start working for the body. As the wise people say, never work for money. Make the money work for you. Then you are a wise person. So, अव्यक्तोक्षर इत्युक्तम तमाहु परमां गतिम यम प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. So once you discover your essential nature, thereafter start playing the game of life. That is why life is not a torture for a wise man. It is a celebration. You can celebrate when you stop calibrating. Isn't 100 rupees. 1 rupee 25 paisa Ganesh and 1 rupee 25 paisa Shivji. बाप को भी उतना ही. थोड़ी दो कीमत करो. Counting. When you are celebrating, you don't bother how many people have come, how many eaten, whether that person is keeping the correct account or not, whether 100 people have eaten and he is giving the bill of 125. That daridri thought doesn't come in your mind if you are really celebrating life. Isn't it? In the same manner, once you come to discover this truth, thereafter we will live in the relative world, but we will live with absolute freedom. That is the purpose of our life. Now, this supreme reality is called as Purusha Sa Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyasthananyaya Yasyanta Sthani Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. So this supreme reality is also attained by another very simple technique. And what is that simple technique? Bhaktya Ananyaya. Yesterday I told you this word Ananya. Ananya means when the sense of otherness has been discarded totally. See, devotion begins with duality, but terminates in the non-dual experience. And if the devotion continues to be in duality, and it is maintained in duality, we are only carrying the load of devotion. The Lord is ready to tell us that you are in me. But we say, no. Why? Because we have trained ourselves like that. Anything the God says, anything the Mahatma say, we have to oppose. This I have so many million times experience. Simple thing, somebody comes and you are sitting in the chair, there is another chair free, please sit in the chair. No, I want to go below your chair. What is the need? See? Very important. Let us not resist, react to anything in this world. See the beauty of life. Therefore, Purushasya Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyatu Ananyaya. And when Ananyata comes, then the sense of separateness disappears. Be very attentive. When the sense of separateness disappears, following things start happening. 1. Zero expectation from the whole world. Do we have any expectation that my left hand has the expectation from the right hand? When there is a scratch here, I don't know whether this will come and scratch or not. It happens. Life or living without expectation. Second thing, there will be zero desire. We can have desire only under two conditions. When something is recognized as other than I, and second, when I consider myself to be incomplete. When these two things meet together, desire is born. In this non-dual experience, where there is the absence of otherness, and when there is the experience of the infinite being that I am, desires cannot erupt. So, the third thing, when the desires have disappeared, when the fear has disappeared, then anger can never be. See? Anger will not persecute us. The desire will not persecute us. The fear will not trouble us. Life without these three, Kama, Krodhas, Tatha, Lobha, life without these three is called as living in the dignity of divinity. So, Purushasya Parapartha Labhya Bhaktya Ananyaya Yasyanta Sthani Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. So, who is that Purusha, the supreme reality? Yasya Antasthani Bhutani. Everything is within him. See, it is something like, if somebody wants to count and find out how many waves were born from this day backward, and how many waves will be born to the infinite, he is simply wasting his time. Any possible wave that you can imagine and create on your computer design is already contained in the womb of the ocean. There is nothing that is to be created for the ocean. Everything is in him. In the same manner, in this absolute consciousness, all possible creation is already existing. And when we come to discover that this conscious principle I am, can I have any hatred or disliking or anything for others? One gross example I had given you a number of times. Here it is very, very appropriate. Anything that is included in the definition of I is never creating any disgust or hatred in our heart. See? When the child is listening to us, when the child is growing nicely and getting good marks, how the father is very happy. After all, my son, my son, my son. And when he grows up, and then he becomes a problem, and then the police is after him, and he is caught up in some wrong places, and then Hindi cinema begins. You are dead for me, and I am dead for you. And then there is a staircase. They will tie the lace, and the music. The moment something starts giving me trouble, I want to discard. See? But when anything is included in the definition of I, it is most loving. It cannot create any disgust. Now, for example, we are all sitting over here. It's a very gross example. We are all sitting over here. We all know what are the contents inside the Madhya Pradesh. Whatever you might have eaten, super Gujarati thali or Punjabi thali or dokla or rasgulla, whatever you must have eaten, as you start descending down, what are the contents? Think about what is inside your stomach. Very intense. Whatever you may think, you will never get disgust in your heart. The moment it is separated out from you, then start watching. Unless you are a laboratory person, pathological laboratory. You don't want to look at it, isn't it? Because it is now separated from I. See? Many times, we go to the temple and because of some reason, we have some, pressure and we can't go there and all that, and we are standing before the God. That time, do you get a sense of impurity? No. And suppose you have gone to the toilet, and if you have to go to the temple, what we want to do first, let me wash my feet and hands, is it not? When it was inside, it was holy. When it went outside, you have become unholy. Think. Therefore, yasyantas thani bhutani. He who has discovered that the whole world is in him, and yena sarvamidam tatam, and he by whom the whole world is pervaded. Meaning, the world in and out is nothing but the reality. Like the ornament in and out is nothing but the gold. In is the content and out is the name and the form. In the same manner, the content of this world is the supreme reality, and the different names and forms are also the same reality. Will a jeweler say that I like the gold, but I don't like the golden ornaments? No. He said, doesn't matter, kaisa bhi wo le aao bas. Then we'll see later. In the same manner, Purushasya Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyas Vanannaya Yasyantasthani Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. This is called as, in technical terms, the Parabhakti, the real devotion. Parabhakti means real devotion. All other is only the sadhana, is only the practice of devotion. It is something like, before the performance is made public, those actors and actresses, they are doing rehearsals in their own small theater. 10 times they do the rehearsal. And then comes the last performance. In the same manner, whatever devotion we are practicing in our life, it is like a practice. But then, when the performance is to be done or performed before the whole world, it has to be the parabhakti. It has to be include everything, reject nothing. Now, those people who are not able to attain the supreme reality, what happens to them? Meaning what? We are thinking about ourselves. I think that is not our choice. We cannot go there. We know our quality. So, the teacher says about this, Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam vakshami bharatarshava. Hey Arjun, I am going to tell you the time when a yogi leaves his body, that time determines whether he is going to the absolute or the relative absolute or the relative relative. Three conditions. So, whether that yogi is again born in this world or he goes to the Brahmaloka, and when Brahmaji is liberated, then he is also liberated. This is second stage of liberation in our scriptures called as the Krama Mukti, liberation in stages. And the third is the absolute. Absolute we have discussed. Now the remaining two are being discussed. What is that time when we leave the body, we go to heaven. And when we leave the body, we go to hell. So, these two things. Going to heaven is living for long periods in enjoyment and happiness. And living in the heaven, hell means enjoying the suffering for a very long period. You know the fun? The fun is happiness when it is for a long period, we don't realize when the time has passed. And little bit of toothache. When the class is going to be over. Every 1 minute, it becomes so long. It's the relative. It is not absolute. Remember I told you once in somebody's bathroom door, I read this sticker. How long is 1 minute depends on which side of the door you are. So, when you die, where will you go? Depends. I shall tell you that when you die at a particular time or the yogi dies, he comes back or he doesn't come back. So there are two types of paths. Now first is the bright path. Agnir Jyotirah Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vidojanaha. Now the first is the path of knowledge and wisdom. So, Agnihi Jyoti Ahaha Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam. Everything is indicating the brightness of our life. Agni is bright, Jyoti is bright, Aha, the day is bright, Shukla Paksha is bright, Shanmasa Uttarayanam is also bright. So when our life is lived on the foundation of wisdom and understanding, such a person is able to merge himself into the reality. And the other aspect, the other type of life, Dhumo Ratris Tatha Krishnaha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyoti Yogi Prapya Nivartate. And those who are satisfied only by controlling the matter, by giving the charity, by going to the temple and never investigating and discovering one's own essential nature, they go by the dark path. Dhuma, the smoke, Ratri, the night, Tatha Krishna, the darkness, then Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, the short period of the day. Such people, Chandramasam Jyoti, they go in the reflected area. The light of moon is reflected light. It is not the original light. So they start living the light of reflected consciousness. Reflected consciousness technically is called as the ego or the jiva. The technical term is the Chidabhasa. So they start living as a relative Jiva. And therefore, in this world, Shukla Krishne Gati Hete Jagataha Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Annaya Vartate Punaha. So these are only two paths in this world. Either work day and night, sweat and go to heaven, and after your bank balance is over, credit cards are not valid, you come back. Again start working. This is called as the weekend philosophy. Work from morning to Friday afternoon, day and night sincerely. For what? So that TIGF. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. And then we start enjoying Friday afternoon, Saturday whole day, Sunday whole day. And then when you are coming back morning, all the roads are blocked, bumper to bumper, because nobody lives in the home on weekends. They must go out. And again, then we come back to home office. Where did you go? What was your enjoyment? Did you go here? Monday gone. And again, work for what? So the next weekend is enjoyed. So weekend spirituality is this. Work hard and spend the whole money, enjoy. Again work hard, spend the whole money, enjoy. How long? Is there something higher purpose of human life or not? Therefore, these are the two proper possible ways of living life. Either make use of this human life the best and transcend relativity, or keep on running again and again the same thing. Naite sruti pathajanan yogi muhyati kaschana. And a wise man, knowing this very well, he is never deluded either by the abilities discovered because of the yoga abhyasa or the success in the material world. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. Therefore, Arjun, aim at these two things in your life. Keep the matter under your control and discover the conscious reality that you are. These two things together makes one yogi. Vedeshu yadeshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atteti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthano upaiti chatyam. So all the simple KG1, KG2 spirituality, which is that Vedeshu, chanting of the Vedas, Yajneshu, doing a lot of Yajna, Tapassu, and observing all kinds of fast, Daneshu, giving a lot of things in charity with ATG, Yat Punya Phalam Pradishtham. Whatever is attained, it is all very relative. Atteti, transcending all the relative achievements, the yogi attains supreme bliss. And that is the purpose of human existence. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.